Hello, and welcome to this episode of the spoilerCast, the show we talk about movies, and we don't care about spoiling them, except when we talk about new movies, then we try to refrain from spoiling in the first half, at least. And today we're talking about a brand new movie, so I think we'll avoid spoilers in the beginning. So don't worry, everyone, please stay. By the way, my name is Tobias, and with me, as always, is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. And the movie we're talking about today, I'm going right into it.
Yes.
We're talking about Jurassic World Dominion, the final
epic conclusion.
Yes, the
Whatever
epic conclusion of the Jurassic World trilogy. And I just want to say, if you want to hear our thoughts on the first two Jurassic World movies, we did that last week. So check that episode out. Wherever you're listening to this, just look us up. It's the last episode.
And
also, if you want to hear our thoughts on the first three Jurassic Park episodes, yeah, check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. There are links everywhere.
We will reference that episode slightly when we talk about this one, obviously.
Probably will, yeah. And also, there are
not to.
literally dozens, if not hundreds, but dozens of hours of extra episodes there, commentary tracks. There's even videos if you want to check that out. All for just $3 a month. So support independent podcasting. No,
but Dominion.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion. The epic conclusion, or as I like to call it, the final nail in the coffin.
Ah, yes.
Because, I'm not gonna get well.
Do you want to start? Do you want to say what you thought of it? Basic stuff.
Yeah.
What did you think of the movie?
I usually let you start, but sure.
Yeah, but no, it's your turn.
I'll say this. It wasn't the worst of these three, but it was still a terribly boring, bad, and just silly movie. I didn't like much at all. It was bad. It was terrible. And
yeah,
I didn't like it, like I said. Just to start off.
To put it simply, I said in the theater that this was the worst movie I've seen this year. Well, I changed my mind.
Year?
It's the second.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's the second worst movie I've seen this year. Both of them have been trash fires.
Which was the first one?
Well, trash fire. Firestarter.
Oh, Firestarter. Oh, okay.
Trash fire, that we called it trash fire, because it is.
Well, trash Firestarter.
Yeah, whatever. This one is
also... Check
that
episode out as well.
Yeah, but this one is also a fucking... Well, this is a forest fire, but, still a fire.
This is worse than a trash fire. This is a forest fire.
However, at least it had some action. And at least it had, I believe, one or perhaps two animatronic dinosaurs.
Oh, it actually had a bunch.
Oh.
Yeah, they were all over the place. And that's actually one of the few good things about this. The animatronics were amazing. Apparently so good that you didn't even spot them.
No, I saw, like, the baby Triceratops when Dr. Ellie petted it before they boarded the plane. I was like, yeah, that's an animatronic.
Well, yeah, in the beginning as well. Almost all of the dinosaurs in the place.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, because they were all kind of stagnant.
Yeah, they were all caged dinosaurs, and you can just make animatronics then.
That's true.
And I would even say some of the bigger ones towards the end, at least the heads, were animatronics.
Yeah.
I think some of them might have been miniatures, but still. I mean...
But every raptor was still CGI.
Yeah, because they're so fast-moving. And
yeah. Even the prehistoric chicken.
The baby raptor, which you see in the trailer, so no spoilers. The baby raptor was animatronic at some point.
Yes, when she was on the shoulder, she was definitely.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah.
She didn't move.
And that was, like, on a technical level, I didn't mind this movie.
No,
it's probably the best looking one.
Yeah.
Sure. Lost Kingdom had more of a sense of style to it. Because of the director. It wasn't... This was kind of more, just flat, But I mean, technical in, the CGI, the animatronics, it looked good. But I mean, if you think of, like, the house and the lab and the creepy dinosaurs, it had more of a vibe in Lost Kingdom.
You mean Fallen Kingdom, right?
Oh, Fallen Kingdom, right. But it's Lost World, Fallen Kingdom, whatever.
Yeah, because I was trying, like... Wait, which one are we talking about here?
Which
honestly though, for me, first and second has kind of merged into one now because of the fact that we watched them both recently just to do an episode on both of them.
Yeah.
So in my head, at the moment, they're more or less one movie.
The Fallen Kingdom is one where they're in the spooky house at the end. And the Indoraptor is like a fucking pervert.
Right.
Trying
The
to
one
grab
with the
little
auction
girls.
and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah,
and the mustache twirling villains like, oh, money, yes!
Dominion gets plus points for being, stylistically at least, in my opinion, the better one. It has bigger and better environments.
Yeah.
And, more people, I guess, is a plus in this case.
I guess, yeah, I suppose.
It's not just, the bad guy and the good guys, it's a bunch of people that are kind of in between at points.
Yeah.
But it still has plenty of flaws, plenty of inconsistencies that bothered me.
Yeah.
One production inconsistency. The editors fucked up at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Without spoiling too much, when they're at the safe house of sorts, and Ellie and Owen almost fall down.
Yeah.
Because they're the last one in.
Yeah.
When they cut to a close-up, he's at the top, she's at the bottom. When they cut to the wide view, she's at the top, he's at the bottom.
Really? Oh, I didn't notice that.
2 times.
So it was different takes.
Yes. And they fucked up.
That's a weird thing to change position on the characters.
They probably didn't pick up on it because it's a small detail, I guess. But, he's blue, she's red. You kind of see it.
Okay. Yeah, I actually didn't.
No, because I was already annoyed, so I was nitpicking at that point. But yeah, in general, it's still trash, but it's the better of the 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I
by
0.5%. Yeah, I think it is the best one, unfortunately, because in general it's not very good. Like it has all the same problems as the other ones. Like it brings nothing new to the discussion. Like plot wise, it's about more than just dinosaurs. It's about genetics. But that's kind of the discussion they're having in the first movie as well. It's just centered around dinosaurs. But that's just a framework for talking about genetics, talking about playing God. And
they've kind of shifted the focus slightly on the type of genetics, I suppose.
Yeah. But it's still the same. It's still
the same issue.
6 movies in, it is still either, you can't play God because you cannot control nature, or we need to learn to live in harmony with nature. Those are the 2 things that every movie, it's either one or the other, or I guess sometimes maybe both of them. And but there's never anything new.
And the bad guy wants to make money.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
That's it. So, and just like the 2 other Jurassic World movies, this one kind of, because they kind of copied the original trilogy. Like Jurassic World was Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Fallen Kingdom was kind of The Lost World.
Kind of.
This one is, at least the second half, is kind of Jurassic Park 3, because they're trying to rescue a child in the middle of a dinosaur-infested jungle.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other stuff going on, of course, but that's
there are a couple of similarities.
It.
It's not just one. There's more than one similarity.
Yeah.
To be honest, there is an actual child with them again.
Yeah.
That they need to keep safe. Not just the baby dinosaur.
So, and I realize that I don't watch movies for the same reason the general audience does.
Not all the time. No, not all the time. Sometimes, obviously.
Sometimes, sure. But when there's...
You do tend to go into a theater with the critical eye.
Critical eye, but also I don't go in to just... Listen, there's the movies where you go in to, be entertained, dumb fun. Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
And there are movies where you go in with the intent to get something more out of it. Maybe start thinking, have a conversation, stuff like that.
To Yeah, to learn something either about yourself or your morals or like...
Yeah, or just, an interesting topic. It's something, And I don't mind dumb fun.
No.
Not at all. Like, one of my favorite trilogies of all time is the John Wick movies, the John Wick trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
And that is just dumb fun. That is just Keanu Reeves
Pure
kicking
action.
ass for 6 hours.
Yeah,
it's fun.
One of our favorite franchises, Fast and Furious, is
it's
pure
just
dumb action fun.
Yes. But the big difference there between the Fast and the Furious franchise and the Jurassic World franchise is that it started out not as just dumb fun. There was entertainment there, definitely. It's an adventure movie about people running from dinosaurs. It has a lot to share with, the monster movies of the 50s and 60s, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was also a movie that brought an interesting discussion to the table.
Yes.
And it managed to work that into a blockbuster movie. It wasn't. We don't use the term elevated horror, so we won't use the term elevated blockbuster.
No,
but it's kind of what it was.
Yes.
I mean, most blockbusters back then was that. It was not just dumb fun. There was substance. Else. There was substance. So they kind of lost that more or less immediately with the second one. It still had something to say, but it was very derivative. Right from the first sequel.
Wait, you're talking about the original trilogy,
the original
now, right?
sequels, yes. So that's why. While I like Jurassic, or The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, they're still like inferior to the original.
Yes, as we mentioned in the Patreon episode.
Exactly. If you want a big conversation around that, check that out. But when it comes to the Jurassic World movies, they're just dumb fun.
I mean,
they pretend to have something to say, but they're
try.
they're trying. It's a lazy effort because they're just copying what the original said. They're not bringing anything new to the table.
No, they're taking the conversation we had in '93, putting it in a new shiny cover.
Yeah,
and pretend that they're bringing something to the table.
It's like I don't know if we talked about this before, but it's like when I was in elementary school, like first grade or second grade, I used to do quote unquote research on animals.
Yeah,
that meant I grabbed a book about animals. I looked up the animal. In this case, I loved seals, so I looked up the seal, the gray seal, the regular gray fur.
Yeah, the cute one.
Yeah, I looked what it said about it, and then I wrote that on a piece of paper. And I then done research.
Yeah, because you copied the text.
Animal. Yeah, because I copied the text.
You copied info.
I mean, technically, yes. I looked up information and gained knowledge. Sure. But it's on such a superficial level that
you didn't bring anything new.
Exactly. I didn't bring anything new because I was a child, of course. I couldn't bring anything new to it. But these are grown-up people making movies for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And they're not bringing anything new.
No, they're doing what you did at age 7. They're doing what you did at age 7. They write down the exact wording they found in the previous story.
Yeah, like, in Jurassic Park they talk about you cannot control nature. I know. We're gonna make a new Jurassic Park movie about how we can't control nature.
But they kind of do it at like a high school level because they changed the wording slightly.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't do like a source check and say, hey, you just copied it. Like, no, I changed the words. Yeah. Professor, give me a C.
Exactly.
And that's we've talked about this in the last episode. That is the fundamental problem with these movies.
Yes.
They're not interesting on anything than a purely superficial level, and that makes them inferior when the original had so much more to bring. But as we noticed in the theater, when people applauded at the end, people don't care.
No.
They just want dumb fun. And that's fine. I mean, I don't blame people for that.
In this case, we also have the fan service, though.
There was a lot of fan service. It didn't annoy me, but there was a lot of fan service.
You did hear some and gasps and oh my god. Especially we had a crew of not to be mean, but they were fucking nerds.
Oh yeah.
Like in the bad sense. Sorry.
The stinky ones?
Yeah, sort of. Well, they looked like they were stinky. I don't know if they actually were. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, we talked about that. Fans.
Yes.
The fans of Jurassic Park, not fans of the movie Jurassic Park.
Exactly. Oh. And they you could hear them audibly gasp and, like, laugh and wanting to applaud mid-movie when the movie did the whole, slow zoom in on the nostalgic character, adding the little twinkles of the piano in this case.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it specifically for Goldblum's character. They kind of failed for some reason doing it with Laura Dern and Sam Neill, because they kind of like threw them in there already. I'm like, oh, and then they did the whole reveal that we have in the trailer. And I'm like, hold up, we've already seen them.
Yeah, but I kind of like that they didn't go bum bum. Here they are. Yeah. Like,
no,
okay,
but they did kind of do that with
Ian
Malcolm.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
a little bit. Yeah, but like, yeah. So like. In a way, you can't really call this a failure, and that's why you can't really call the other ones a failure as well, because people obviously like them. We were almost in a full theater, and this was on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah,
I guess technically, I guess the summer vacations have started now. The spring breaks.
Technically, yes. Whatever. I thought there would be more people though, because the rows ahead of us were basically empty. Though we were on row 4, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, that
behind us, but
that's a thing. Like. The lower rows, I don't know if that's in every IMAX. I've only been to 2 different IMAXs. And the low rows are not, like, we were right on the edge where it was enjoyable. Like, you had to look a lot of up. And some of the more hectic sequences, Malta, it was kind of hard to follow along because you kind of have to look all over the place because the screen is so big when you sit that close.
My one issue with IMAX movies, I mean, it's worse, obviously, the closer you sit. This has nothing to do with Jurassic World specifically. It's in general.
Yeah.
They're doing, like, when you shoot a movie that is going to be shown on IMAX, do not do fucking close-ups that close. Because you can't focus on the face when it's covering the entire screen. You need to do, like, a third of the screen tops with the face. Because when you're that close, it's just weird. You just look at their mouth or something.
That's why I say like the first 4 rows usually people aren't sitting there unless,
no, but I mean I feel that way even when you're sitting on what we call the prime seats on row 7.
Okay.
Sometimes because some movies just go too close.
Sure.
Like if you're filming for an IMAX screen, don't go so fucking close on your close-ups.
But then everything would feel so far away when you're looking at it on a smaller screen.
Maybe, so. I don't know. Whatever. That's a sidebar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just mentioning it because it bothers me. It did bother me a lot in Jurassic World, specifically, Dominion, because they had a lot of close-ups on people. Yeah. And a lot of, like, close, then far away, close, then far away, close, then far away. I'm like, could you make up your mind? I'm getting disoriented here.
It didn't bother me that much. The only time was the very, very hectic and bloated chase scene in Malta.
Yeah, in Malta, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll talk more about that in a second. But, like... in general, this movie was just it was dumb. Like it didn't add anything to the discourse. It didn't add anything to the franchise of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World.
Honestly,
or whatever.
I thought they would have ended on a different note to actually bring some sort of conclusion or like.
Well, they sort of did.
Yeah, but I thought they would have ended on a different type of ending. A different type of conclusion. Not this one, which just...
Yeah, it's weird how...
Kind of made this movie unnecessary.
What?
It kind of made this movie unnecessary, what they ended up on. Like, you didn't have to watch it, because...
It didn't... It has... Spoilers, I suppose. It has the same ending as Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, now we have to learn to live in a world... In a Jurassic World, like, literally. That's the speech that Dr. Malcolm does in the end of the last movie.
The tagline is the epic conclusion of the Jurassic era. I was like, but no. You're still just in it.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I never thought they were gonna, like, solve it, because...
No, I didn't think they would solve it. My theory was, this isn't spoiling anything, I honestly thought they would just end up with, like, well, humans are going extinct.
Oh, but you can't do a downer ending like that, because then that would turn the audience against you, and you can't do that. Even that would kind of been interesting. Like, let's say that Infinity War was the end of the MCU. That would have been great. I would have loved that ending because it's unexpected, and I always loved the ending.
The bad
of
guy wins. In this case, though, the dinosaurs aren't the bad guys, so they wouldn't be the bad guy wins. It would be nature will always win.
Yeah, which is kind of what the whole franchise is about, isn't it?
Yeah. So I thought they would hammer it home by going, well, we fucked up, and we will have to live with the consequences, which is not trying to live in harmony with nature. It is being dominated by nature, because nature will always have dominion. Which is so funny. They kind of lean towards it sometimes during the movie. But then somehow they're like, nah, it's fine.
But yeah, because every encounter they have with dinosaurs, they are, they're not outnumbered, but they are
inferior.
They're inferior, yeah. In every situation, there's never any where they hunt the dinosaur or anything.
No.
Once again, has always also been a thing in the other movies.
Yes, because we know that the apex predators of 63 million years ago would still be the apex predators because we do not have the kind of raw strength and teeth, number of teeth that they have, or even size.
Yeah. And that's why living in some sort of harmony with these animals is
improbable.
I wouldn't say it's impossible. Yeah, it is improbable to have 10 foot eating machines, murder machines roam free. Don't work.
No, like we've seen in the originals and the earlier ones. It doesn't matter how much bigger you make a new species. The T-Rex will always be the king.
Well, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just in general.
I'm just generalizing with T-Rex. He will always be the biggest one. He will always be the apex. Humans will never outgrow that.
I mean, we have, of course, technology.
Sure.
And we talked about that in the last episode as well.
Yeah.
But then that's going into a whole nother discussion about so what gives us the right to exterminate a whole nother species or several species of animals.
Which they also talked about a little bit in this one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we've done that. I mean, we have become apex predators because we have technology.
Sure. But so far, we don't know if our technology is enough to keep the dinosaurs in check. I mean, obviously not. We've failed so far in all movies.
Yeah, but they've never actually, used...
fully attempted.
Yeah. Because, that's beside the point.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
That's also once again something which we talked more about in the last episode, but which is relevant here as well. That is not what the movies are about. That is that surface level stuff. On a practical level, how would we deal with No! That's not what Jurassic Park was about. It was about not meddling with forces beyond our control. The dinosaurs were a metaphor. They weren't they were a little problem, but they were a metaphor. Sure. For, it's the Promethean legend. In Fallen Kingdom and this one, it stops being metaphorical and just becomes practical.
That's my issue with it.
It becomes the bad modern form of sci-fi where it's no longer about questions of ethics or moral or anything. I mean, they're there, but it's transposed onto this very practical form of moral grandstanding or philosophizing, which is so on the nose, it's so uninteresting, at least to me, once again, as a critical watcher of movies. But I guess for an audience that don't care about being challenged, or looking at a movie with a critical eye, they still won't question the practicality of this issue. Yeah.
Because they'll just go, oh, it's fine. Whatever they say in the movie will work.
Yeah.
Because, Dr. Grant said it. Well, Dr. Malcolm, I don't know whoever said it in the end then. No, actually, it's Owen who says it in the end.
What are you talking about? Which is
even worse. Well, the end, monologue.
Oh, that was Owen.
I think it was Owen.
I didn't even think of who was saying it. I was just listening. It's okay. Yeah, just like in The Lost World, you're saying the same thing. Oh, the movie's over, thank God. Yeah, this is the worst kind of blockbuster filmmaking. It is moronic, like masquerading as intelligent.
Yes. Trying to make people think that, we were watching a movie about deep thoughts, but
it's
we don't have to have the deep thoughts, man. Because it's okay. The movie will just be cool.
Yeah. And that's...
However,
yeah,
I just want to mention this because this is kind of throwing me off, because we're trying to keep it unspoiler thingies, and I want to get to the spoilers. The Metascore is throwing me off, but it could be because it's very early in the premieres. This one has a 38.
A 30? I haven't looked at. Well,
the other ones were at 50 at least.
Yeah. Well,
Fallen Kingdom was 51, I think, and the first
Jurassic
one
was 59. Yeah.
Yeah. This one has a 38 by now, but I'm guessing it'll add up when people start watching it.
It's gonna level out. It's usually, with movies like this, it's usually super high or super low in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I still remember. It's one of my greatest memories when it comes to movies like this. I remember for a very, very short, I mean literal minutes, back in 2008, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull had a 10 out of 10 Metascore.
What? Was it one person?
No, it was like a couple of, I don't have, any evidence, but they were obviously paid off to give it a high score. It had 100%. And then I pressed update, and boop, it had jumped down to like a 70, and then boop, down to a 50 or whatever it is now. But for a while there, it was the greatest movie in cinema history, according to Metascore or Metacritic. So this will probably even out. But the other ones have always started higher, so and then leveled out to a lower score. So maybe this is the trend is shifting now, that it will even out, but
it'll probably stay in the lower.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is weird to me, because like we said, this is the better of the three terrible movies.
In a way, also it's the third one. Like maybe people are getting tired of them.
Yeah. And I think some people will be...
Film critics.
This was just fan service. They just threw in the originals to make people happy because they didn't know what else to add in it. Which kind of felt like at points.
Yeah. Yes.
But I did appreciate them, to be honest. I did like the fan service of certain things. Not all of it.
It wasn't so on the nose. Yeah.
No. Except for the can.
Yeah.
The shaving cream can. I was like... But why? Are the original samples still in there or what? It only had like I don't remember the limit, but he says it has like an expiry date.
36 hours or 18 hours. 18 hours of cooling, yeah.
Yeah, and now we're at...
No, it's just supposed to be a symbol.
Years. Yeah, I think.
It's kind of funny though that the main bad guy of this movie, the fake... what's the guy who runs Apple now? He looked like him. Whatever that guy's name is.
I don't know what the new one is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny that he had, because he was the one, we'll be in total control. We'll just start over, just like Hammond said.
Yeah.
But still, he had the can, which is the the perfect
symbol of the failure
of how you cannot control nature. You cannot control chaos.
Not control it.
Yeah. Because it was something that was used by a human to disrupt the control they had.
Yeah.
In the original movie. So like he had a symbol of his failure in his office. Like why would he do that?
It could be like a motivational thing, like I will not fail as they did.
I guess that could be it.
But
sure.
It felt like they zoomed in on it without giving it substance. So it's just
it was just
pure fan service.
It was the textbook, textbook fan service, which I don't like. It didn't add anything. It was just
that was one of the ones I was like,
things I like. Stupid. Gotta clap.
Yeah, there was another detail like that with the hat that I was like, it's starting to feel like more Indiana Jones than Dr. Grant.
I don't even remember. Do they do a thing with his hat in the third movie?
Yeah, when they're in the.
I got your hat. Alessandro
Yeah.
Nivola says. Yeah.
And now in this one, when they're in the cave system, he goes...
Oh, yeah, sure,
She goes,
yeah.
screw the hat, and he says, no, and grabs it.
But, like...
In combination with him having the torch, just about felt Indiana Jones for me.
Yeah, and that's a whole thing in the Indiana Jones movies that he saves his hat. So that was more of an Indiana Jones thing, which... I don't know.
It didn't make sense.
No,
that was
it didn't
just
make
weird.
sense. And yeah, because when did... Once again, this is this kind of... We talked about when people love the thing instead of the movie with the thing in it. Like... When did Alan Grant's hat become, like, iconic, so they had to make a thing about it? Like,
I mean, they've mentioned it, like, it's been a brief thing that he does in, well, the first one and the last one, that he, like, grabs his hat. He doesn't want to lose the hat.
Yeah, but it's
Someone
just a
saves
hat.
It. Yeah, it's just twice. It's not over 5-6 movies, it's just twice. That's not enough to make it iconic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they tried to do the make it iconic here.
Yeah, because once again, it's an iconic thing that the fans like.
Yeah, the fans
why do they like the hat? It's just a hat!
Yeah, it's stupid. I want to get into nitty-gritty.
Yes.
And spoilers.
Yeah, because we just passed the 30-minute mark.
Perfect.
So...
Verdict?
Verdict.
It's
horrendous.
The better of the three, but it's still terrible.
Yeah, like you said, this is worse than a garbage fire. This is a forest fire.
Yes.
Figuratively and literally.
Yes.
We'll
get to why that is stupid as well.
Please, if you do anything, save your money. Save your time. This is 2.5 hours long. It's the longest one in the series.
Yeah.
Do not go and see this. Watch
at least
literally anything else. Except for Doctor Strange, but anything else. Because that one is, if anything, worse.
Don't pay for it. If anything, don't fucking pay for it. Don't give them more money.
No, madam, that's what I'm saying. Just don't even watch it. Even if you're pirating it, which you shouldn't. You shouldn't pirate movies, but still, pay money to some other movie. Pay money to The Northman. Pay money to... I just watched Men. That's a movie.
Go watch Maverick.
Go watch Maverick. That's a good blockbuster movie. Go watch fucking Sonic 2. I haven't watched it, but I hear it's like as good as the first one, and the first one is good. Watch anything.
Literally anything.
Check out our podcast. We have loads of movies we talk about that were good this year. Check out The Northman. Did I already say that?
Years.
But I'll say it again. Check out The Northman.
Do not
watch Jurassic World, whatever, Dominion. Don't.
No.
Don't. Please. For the love of fucking God. Do not.
If, however, you don't want to have it spoiled, because we're not going to force you. We can't force you.
Of course.
So if you don't want to have it spoiled, thank you so much for listening.
Here we go.
Spoilers galore.
Yeah, we go. Spoilers. Warning. Spoiler warning. Whatever. Here we go. You have 3, some nitpicks. Let's start spoiling it.
I mean, we had a full sequence that was complete and utter unusable garbage even. Like, it's unnecessary garbage, which is the whole Malta debacle.
Yeah.
The only thing it did was introduce one recurring character, continuing character in this movie, and it's probably introducing a world-building character.
Mm-hmm. That's something
I mentioned that in the first episode of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of world building in this, which once again is setting up the new franchise.
Yes. I mean, it's the epic conclusion to the Jurassic era, but what came after that? Criteria?
I think Cretaceous came before.
Yeah, that's the word.
It might have come before, yeah, but I think...
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I know.
It's opening up for a new era
yeah.
of dinosaurs on Earth with that new villain that I don't even remember the name of, even though they did mention her. And
Santos? No, that was someone else. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Lady in White, like Owen said.
No, it was Santos.
Okay.
Soyana Santos, played by Dichen Lachman, or something. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. You looked cool. You
doesn't
pretty.
matter. She's not in the movie.
No. Which is stupid. They introduce a bad guy that's not in the movie.
No, but it's pure world building. It's lore. Everyone's favorite word now. Lore.
And it was about 25 minutes of unnecessary information and action that was even
dumb action.
Dumbest, the dumbest action.
Not even fun action.
No. You had like humans being idiots. Like, oh, I'm gonna be on my electric scooter in the middle of a square where two fucking T-Rex looking things are fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna notice that until I'm underneath the teeth. Like, how idiotic is that?
Yeah.
Or the people who were like, oh, I can hear a motorcycle coming down this narrow street. I'm just gonna stroll to the side. I'm not gonna run and hide. Like, it's just stupid details that made it even more stupid. At least try to avoid the stupid details to not make it as dumb.
Yeah.
But no, they kept those idiotic things in.
And that's not even the worst. Like, we should briefly go through the plot.
Yes.
Because since this is a plot-driven movie and not a character or story-driven movie, we've discussed that before, but just quickly, plot and story is not the same.
No.
Plot is what is going on in the movie. This, from minute to minute, this is what's happening. They're going here to do the thing. Story is themes, it's philosophy, it's
meaning and
the subtext
reasoning.
of the movie. Yeah. So this is very, very plot-driven. And gotta quickly talk about that, because we didn't talk about that. I guess we briefly talked about it in the Jurassic Park episode, which you can check out on our Patreon page.
Again.
The original, not very plot-driven. There's not a lot of plot.
No.
It's literally dinosaurs break out, they have to survive.
Yeah.
But
and while they're doing that, they're learning things.
There's a lot of story about life finding a way, about not being able to control chaos. We talked about every scene hammers that point home without...
in one way or another.
Yeah, without, rubbing your face and look at this! It's just,
without pointing the finger and showing it.
Yeah.
They're not telling you, they're showing you.
Yeah, exactly.
In a tasteful way.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes doing that is when the the Tyrannosaurus Rex is chasing and eating Gallimimus. Because the people are completely, they're so unnecessary in that scene. They're just there to, give perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just showing nature having its course while they are there. And the Gallimimus running, almost killing them without even thinking they're there, because we have
care.
Yeah, we have so little impact when we're just on the ground and not have all our technology and everything. Yeah. And then how mesmerizing even the violence of nature can be when Timmy says, "Look at all the blood," and that's it.
Yeah.
And then the scene moves on, but it just.
And all it did was tell us and show us that we do not matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, at least.
Back to Jurassic World Dominion and the heavily plot-driven. I mean, globe-trotting and villains in their villain lair. Out in the mountaintop, lair where he hangs out. Literally, he has a hideout in the mountains, in the Dolomites.
It had elements of an adventure video game, kind of.
Yeah.
How you have locations being the
this is a level where we're gonna do
levels. That's the word. Yeah. So we have the level in the beginning where Claire is trying to get evidence against this breeding farm of dinosaurs.
Illegal
breeding or whatever. Where she, oh my god, side plot or change of direction. We have to save this one because it's sick.
Yeah.
That's one level. That's an introduction level.
And also, that is to introduce, how just like with the regular animals, because once again, this is not about a lofty idea such as we can't control nature. It's now about animal cruelty.
Yes.
You're putting real world politics onto it, which makes it very which makes it easier to understand and more maybe emotional, but also less interesting in general, for me at least, I think movies should work. Movies and TV shows should tackle stuff like that on a more philosophical level. That's just what I think. Like Star Trek.
They made it a little bit too realistic.
Yeah, they could have just made a movie then about, animal farms.
Farming of animals.
Animals?
Animals.
The animals? Yeah.
Anyway.
Animals, yes. So the scene introduces how
Claire...
Yeah, but how people now exploit the dinosaurs.
And how Claire feels bad about her involvement in the beginning of this, so to speak.
That was
how
the
she's
point.
trying to retcon what she's done.
Yeah, that was the point of that scene, showing how how desperate she is to both like try to correct her mistake, but also have some absolution.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm doing the right thing this time.
She's working towards the
and you know
right
what?
thing.
Fine, character moment, setting up, once again, world building. But that's the first minute of that scene. Then we have a car chase through a flock of triceratops and 2 cars being destroyed by dinosaurs. And it goes on and this is like the shortest scene in the movie. It goes on for like 5 minutes. And it just ends with them getting out of there scot-free and saying, like, this isn't the way to go buy things. Like,
we're not going to do it this way anymore.
Saving one at a time is not going to help anyone.
You're doing the right thing, but you're not doing it the right way.
Exactly. Like, I got a job where I can do real change, the guy says, whatever his name is. The screamy tech guy from the last movie.
Yes.
Whatever his name is.
Oh, and also to, like, just... Hey, he's still here.
And get both those characters out of the movie, because nobody liked those characters.
Yeah, because the doctor girl from the second movie is also there.
Yeah, the paleo veterinarian who had never seen a real dinosaur. So how the fuck are you a veterinarian?
Knew how to, like, do a blood transfusion on one? Sure.
Anyway, that's the other movie. We have an episode about that. You can check that
out. Then we have the next level, where we get the introduction of Owen Grady.
Yeah.
And he is it's a cowboy scene. He is chasing a dinosaur on horseback, and he's capturing it to... I'm actually not quite sure why.
I think they're supposed to move them to a safer place where they can't be poached.
Possibly.
I think
very
that's
vaguely explained. It's mainly just to show us that he is still, a cowboy, which he is.
Yeah, he's a rugged man,
Yeah, he likes to do work with hands. He can tangle with dinosaur with just rope. All that's missing is the actual cowboy hat.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah. And I don't really have a big problem with that scene.
It's fine. It's a bit long, but it's fine.
It's character building, even though we already know that, but it's character building for this movie. To have the movie work in a vacuum, you introduce the character doing something characteristic.
Yeah.
Sure.
The placing of them, though, kind of threw me off. Not that I know American geography that well, but, like, having us know that which state they're in made no sense to me.
Well, it's just to show why there's snow in one scene and not in the next one.
I guess, but it felt kind of improbable that you would travel that far for one thing like that.
But it's in the state he lives. He didn't travel far.
Maybe it made sense. I didn't pick up on that. It's just, it was annoying.
No,
why would you point out that they're in different states? What the fuck? I don't know what that means.
Well, that's just because you don't know American geography. That's your problem. That's not the movie. I gotta defend the movie there.
Fine. Next level is introducing, like, the homestead. This is where your safe house is supposed to be. And the major plot point, which is Macy.
Yeah.
And the issue with her.
Yeah.
The thing around her,
That she's a
clone. And, failing family dynamic because you have to have a bit of a friction.
Yeah, because she's a teenager and everything. That's the family aspect. Because since it's a Steven Spielberg movie, I mean it's a Colin Trevorrow movie, but it's produced by Steven Spielberg. Trevorrow. It's a Steven Spielberg movie. It's produced by Steven Spielberg. It's his franchise from the beginning. You need to have the family unit. Yes. But just like in the other ones, it felt tacked on here.
Yes.
Didn't feel as natural as in the original.
Even though Macy always called them her parents, which I wouldn't do if I were her. I would be like my guardians or like my family. I wouldn't call them parents specifically.
Well,
it's weird.
There's a difference between being someone's mom and someone's mother. That's the whole thing,
I suppose.
Yeah, a mother is the one who gave birth, but that doesn't necessarily have to be your mom.
The mom has to do with the person who raises you, yeah.
Same thing with dad.
But she calls them specifically parents.
I don't know. Whatever.
It was weird. Introducing also the second MacGuffin, because Macy is a MacGuffin.
Yes.
More or less. And we have a second MacGuffin. We have Baby Blue, or in this case, they call her Beta.
Yeah.
Which is a name that all of a sudden just pops up. I would have called her Baby Blue. Because that made more sense to me. But no.
Yeah, Macy calls her Beta.
Yeah. Blue is Beta, so I mean... whatever. And also introducing, of course, part of the bad guy.
Yeah, the plot that they want Macy and they want Blue or Blue's baby.
Beta.
Yeah.
Baby Blue Beta.
Because, we later find out, we already know, she's special because she is a human clone. It's different.
We know Macy is a clone.
I mean, I don't know. On a real scientific level, I'm sure it's because we have cloned sheep, we haven't cloned human yet. So there's a difference between cloning animals and cloning a human.
Oh,
animal.
Definitely.
But in the
world of Jurassic
World, yeah,
that seems kind of stupid. I mean, we've recreated animals from 65 million years ago from a drop of blood from an encased mosquito in the beginning.
Introducing human cloning in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was the dumbest thing ever.
Yes.
That's why that is still the worst movie in this trilogy.
It also did not bring anything to this story.
No.
Because we had Baby Blue.
Yeah.
Beta.
So...
Which is... They're the same... I mean, there is... Eventually, they do explain that there is a difference, and you need to study them both to understand the difference and recreate the difference.
But they fill the same purpose. The purpose is that, it turns out that your mother,
Charlotte,
so to speak, or the person you were cloned from, your mother, she not only managed to clone you, but she managed to...
alter your cells.
Alter your DNA, alter your cells, so that her genetic, like some sort of disease,
makeup.
Yeah.
The mother's genetic disease.
She had
it did carry over, but she managed to heal it by introducing healthy and perfect cells that would alter the existing cells somehow.
Which, in a way, is also explain how she is unique. So her DNA is unique.
Yeah, because she's not exactly like her mother. It's a very long and unnecessary way to try and medically, almost scientifically, explain why they needed that character.
Yeah, because that could have just been Baby Blue or Beta.
Yeah, basically.
To show that, somehow she managed to give birth asexually to this perfect copy.
However, they're not saying that Baby Blue is perfect, but they could have done that.
Like,
just make her like, she managed to create life on her own.
Yeah, because
her body will obviously correct some of the issues.
Yeah, because you see, this movie is about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is the metaphor. Dinosaurs is the core of the discussion among, around, genetic tampering.
Yeah.
Why bring a human subject into that? Why make it more sci-fi than it already is?
Yeah.
Why add this extra thing that is really just the same as dinosaurs, but it's human?
Yeah.
It doesn't add anything.
I don't know if it's to add some sort of like morality that will hit harder or closer at home. That, oh my god, they're tampering with humans. Maybe they can cure humans, not just dinosaurs. I don't know if it's some sort of like explanation to make it easier to understand.
Yeah, but then why humanize Blue and turn her into like a character?
Pick one or the other. You don't need two.
Yeah, you have Blue then, who's like, I have a connection to this animal. Oh, they're happy, and they look at each other like they love each other, which is weird. If you're gonna do that, then do that. It's like they kind of like
pick one. Like
halfway through making these movies, they were like, yeah, that is kind of dumb. So let's add an actual human character with the same story, thing as Blue. But then get rid of Blue. That was what I liked about this movie. Blue is barely in it. The first time we see Blue, she's like a wild animal again. She slashes at Owen, which you've never seen before. But then they bring her back in the end, and she's almost saying, "Thank you for bringing back my baby."
Yeah, they do that a little bit in the beginning as well, because she runs to Owen to be like, my baby's taken.
Yeah, it's
But then she's like, fuck you if you don't get her back, and then they get her back, and she says, thank you.
Also, like...
But we're kind of jumping ahead here, though.
No, we're not, because that's the beginning of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, the genetic part was kind of later on, but yeah.
Yeah, but we're jumping ahead because everything in between that and kidnapping her is just action.
Yes. After that kidnapping scene, we have the very unnecessary Malta sequence. That just is another level of, you come to an exotic city.
Because, to get back to that then, the only information the Malta sequence gives us is that, the kidnappers were actually hired by Biosyn. So they take her to their base or whatever, where they do the drop-off in Malta to Biosyn. So it should have been them coming there, meeting up with Mathieu? Was that his name? No, what's the French guy's name? Whatever, the French guy from the first movie. First Jurassic World movie.
Barry Sembene.
Is that the character?
I think. Yes, okay. Omar Sky.
Okay.
Is the actor.
He should have just been like a contact there to once again, hey, it's the guy from the first movie that no one cares about. Wow, yay.
Yeah.
Clap for that now, people. And he should have said, we have a man on the inside of this, this poaching ring. And we have information that they have your daughter or your girl. They have Macy. They go into that shady place to kind of spy on them.
Yeah, the black market that you go to and all the
where they sell dinosaur as food, which I was so sure that was going to be a bigger thing than it was. But whatever, beside the point.
Yes, they had cockfights with dinosaurs. They grilled dinosaurs and they sold them in cages.
Yeah. And then we see how they oh my god, they got Macy. But shit, we're too far away. We're not going to get on the plane. Then have the new character be the pilot character.
Kayla.
Just say I'll help you because she's introduced
Played
earlier.
By
whatever. It doesn't even talk about that. And then it's just them getting on a plane and following them. 5 minutes we spent in Malta. They even get the whole world building in with the black market stuff and the poaching rings and everything.
But no,
we don't have the bloated 45-minute chase scene. It's not 45 minutes, but it's 15
it's 15
minutes.
minutes approximately.
That could have made this movie so much shorter. We don't need action all the time. You know what? What? They could have had oh shit, we gotta escape. Claire and Kayla, they go to get the plane. But Owen is a little he's a little too
hot-headed,
pragmatic. So he just I'm gonna save her now. She jumps in and he gets chased by the dinosaurs because they get released anyway. I can't speak.
You're too up in what's it called? Too high strung at the moment.
Yeah.
Calm down.
But instead of having him drive through the entire city and running through the entire black market thing, and have Claire and Caleb be chased by another one of those not
dinosaurs.
Raptors, some other dinosaur.
Whatever they were,
just have him be chased. And really, the only exciting part of that chase is when he is driving up to the plane, and he has to jump with the motorcycle onto the plane. That was exciting. Yeah. That was fun. Because it's a ticking clock element. Oh, is he going to make it?
But it was also about 45 seconds long.
Yeah. Everything in the city, when they're just running from the Raptors, it's a chase. But it's a chase without a goal. It's a chase that is purely about, we got to get away from them.
Yeah, it's not just taking you from A to B. It's we got to add some spice to A to B.
Yeah. We're going to drag it out.
We don't need that spice.
We're going to drag it out. Yeah. So instead, have him, shit, these dinosaurs are gonna get me. Jump on the motorbike.
Just cut it in half.
Yeah, cut it in half. Just have him drive out of the city. It takes let's say 5 minutes.
Barely. I mean, you could literally have you have the whole little fight scene where he and Barry have to cage one of them, and then he goes, shit, I need to catch up to the girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, there's one after me. Cut to him driving out of the warehouse or whatever, and then to them in the plane going, where is he? And there he is.
Yeah, but we gotta go now. And he's like, but he's not on the plane yet. And then bam, 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 bam. He drives onto the plane.
He comes over the hill.
We're done in 5 minutes. Instead of 15 going on 20.
Yeah.
We've talked about killing your darlings. It's a perfect example.
Yes.
We don't need to see him drive through all of Malta. We don't need to see two Allosauruses or wherever they are eat people on scooters. Who cares?
The worst part is that it just amounted to another action scene.
Yeah. Do you remember
what?
the Jeep chase in Jurassic Park? When Ellie and whatever the Australian guy is, who's the hunter guy.
The hunter dude, yeah.
Yeah, when they go to find the cars, and they find Ian Malcolm, and they're like, we got to get going, and then when they get back to the car after finding the other car, they get chased by the Tyrannosaurus Rex. That is a scary scene, because it's iconic because it has the whole objects in mirror may appear, farther away than they are. Or maybe closer than you think, or whatever it says, And it's
whatever.
so close that the mirror shakes, which is, oh shit. You know how long that scene is?
About 5 minutes, right?
No. From the second they sit in the car, I haven't timed this, but I would be amazed if it's longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And even if
it
is, it's so well written that it feels even shorter than it actually is.
Yeah.
Without feeling too short.
And it's not just driving, jumping. They have the scene where they have to duck to get under the tree. And that's gonna stop him. No, he just goes right through it. And then you have the mouth in the rearview mirror. You have Ian leaning on the gear shifter thing.
Yeah.
And then, he manages to shift up so he can drive away.
That's it.
That's exciting. And just like this is exciting for the last 45 seconds, that's it.
We don't need the rest.
It's exciting when he starts driving the motorcycle, even though we were kind of bored already because they've already been running around from the dinosaurs. But, after 5 minutes, it's not exciting anymore.
And it's even worse that it does amount to another action scene. Because we end up in the air, sure, perfect, great, we're on our way.
Yeah.
And holy shit, we're attacked by a dinosaur.
Yeah, they can't just land, or I thought, oh shit, because they talk with the control tower when they're, and like, fuck, we can't land. Well, you can just parachute in, but then you're gonna have to walk through the dinosaur forest to get to the place.
Exactly, we'll land over there.
They get attacked by a giant bird that rips the plane in half, and they have to shoot Claire out with a ejector seat, and they have to crash into the frozen dam, and they get chased by the
chicken
Terry something. I don't know the name.
The prehistoric chicken thingy, the red one, that looks
giant
like a
one
phoenix
with the wings,
feathers.
Yeah.
The feathery one.
Yeah, it's
not
called
only
baryonyx.
that,
It's called something else. Whatever.
That's one of the issues. They don't name all the dinosaurs.
They
which
just
they
name
do
a couple
more or less
ones. Yeah.
in the original ones. They do like, oh my god, it's one of those. Oh my god, it's one of those. Here we just get like a couple. Oh, it's an Allosaurus. What the fuck is an Allosaurus?
Yeah,
either way,
that's the thing.
The first part is they split up the action scene to add more action. So we have one piece with Claire, as she is attacked by some sort of blind dodo-looking sloth claw thingy.
Which was, at that point, I literally leaned over to you and said, it's getting exciting now, because they're on the ground in a forest. She's being chased by a dinosaur. That's fun, at least. It's not...
But...
chasing poachers in Malta. What the fuck?
No. But we have not too long of a scene with her being chased by this one until a bigger one comes and chases that one off.
No, yeah, it's like a minute or two.
And she goes away. She's like, fine. But then they cut to Owen and Kayla, the pilots, climbing out of a plane that is almost drowning.
Yeah, sinking. Yeah.
Planes don't drown.
They don't.
And not only do they have the peril of being on ice that is cracking, they're also chased by a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah.
And that is like, we just threw in another action scene on for about, it's also like not too long, it's about a couple of minutes or so. A little bit dragged out because he falls through the ice.
It's a little bit dragged out, yeah. Once again, it's like, it's
like 5 minutes, but it could have been 2.
Once again, where the original did it so well, there, how about you be a little bit restrictive with how much you show the dinosaurs? We don't want to see dinosaurs all the time. That's what made the other movies a little boring, because it stopped being exciting to see dinosaurs all the time. Yeah,
so common.
So remember,
that scene, we counted
on I think there's 8 scenes in the original movie with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Something like that. 8 scenes. 10 if you're, like, want to be technical.
In a 2-hour-long movie, we have about, like, 20% have dinosaurs in it.
But you had other...
Maybe 25.
You had other scenes of action, like the tree climbing scene.
Yes.
You know, where you did something else. Them getting out of the plane and walking over the cracking ice, perfect moment to...
Would have been enough.
Yeah, perfect moment to not have dinosaurs in the scene. But no, they gotta add a dinosaur, because... drowning in ice-cold water isn't scary enough. We have to have a dinosaur as well. A flying dinosaur that is also a swimming dinosaur.
Yeah. Another detail that has been a ongoing one in the Jurassic World trilogy is the lack of injuries and scuff marks on people.
Yeah, no one...
They emerged from a crashed plane without a single speck of dirt on them.
Yeah, that didn't bother me too much, but you pointed out and it's like, yeah... They should at least have the thing is, you know, the classic, continued. Little bit of blood on the cheek or something, you know.
Yeah, they didn't even have that for fucking Claire.
I don't know. Yeah.
She got dirty when she started. She got a little bit dirty when she got in the water because she got, like, algae on her.
Yeah, but when she got out of the water, she was fine.
She was fine.
Because that water, which, you know, I get that had to be, like, clean enough so you could see her when they did the scene, but shouldn't they at least, like, make her shirt a little patchy with dirt afterward?
I was like, could they have added, like, I don't know, that she got fucking a ripped shirt somewhere? Leeches that she had pull off or something? Like, one leech on her neck?
Something to show that.
Give her a mark. No, they were, by the time she met up with them, she was even dry.
Yeah, and that's also, she has, you know, I don't know if she has thick hair. But I'm just like,
No, but she has luscious hair.
Yeah, I don't really have long hair. I used to have long hair, but I wear thick hair. If I shower in the morning, unless I like blow dry it, which I don't do because I don't like it. But, you know, unless I blow dry it thoroughly, it is wet when I go to bed like 15 hours later or more. I don't know how long you stay up.
I just like... I usually wash my hair, and then in the evening, I wake up with my hair still being damp in places.
Yeah, but they get dry so quickly. I mean, they kind of do that in the other movies as well, but it sticks out more here.
Yes,
because there's not even dirt
compared
on
to
them.
the originals, where they get actual mud on their faces, and they have that mud caked on their clothes for the entire movie. Here, they stay pristine. Her hair is fucking blow-dried throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah. And I just want to say... and
it's extra pointed out because they even mentioned, like, redheads are nice. And they look at her and you have the shiny hair flowing in the wind almost.
And I just want to say, we're
yes, we're nitpicking.
We're stuck on that detail a lot. But it's recurring in all 3 movies, which we looked up as we were doing the episode.
Yes.
And it's also just shows... And it's not important for the story that they're dirty.
No,
excuse me.
But it shows lack of detail.
Exactly. It shows a lack of detail. And it shows a lack of care. Like, don't you care that your characters are... after their scuffle with the dinosaur, they should be dirty or have wounds or something.
I mean, towards the end, I'm skipping forward a little bit here, but...
Whatever.
The last scene, sure, we see that people are hurt.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's not a lot.
No.
It's... like 1 cut and 1 bruised arm.
I gotta say though, Owen does have like a bandana wrapped around his hand where Blue scratched him in the beginning.
Sure.
That's, you know.
But
that's about it.
It's so tiny. It's so tiny. Either way, we're still like in the forest and they somehow meet up. No, wait. This time, you know what the next level is? We go with Dr. Grant and Dr. Settler. They meet up and they end up at Biosyn or whatever it's called.
Yeah, they were invited there by Malcolm.
And we get the tour of the bad guy's lair.
Yeah, literally. And they're there because it kind of, like you talked about, before we'd seen this, you talked about how you thought like climate change was going to be the big thing they were going to try to make this about, not about dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, we didn't forget to mention the very opening scene, which is a very creepy scene.
Yeah, it's not the opening
with the
scene.
Giant cicadas.
Yeah. Locusts.
Ugh. Locusts,
I think.
sorry.
I'm
locusts.
not sure.
Yeah, no, locusts makes more sense.
Yeah, which is not exactly climate change, but it is kind of, because
comment on
the meddling with genetics is affecting nature. Like
our food sources.
Yeah.
Genetically modified crops are meddling with our food sources.
Yeah, which is also like something they don't really talk about more. They start that with Dr. Sattler, Ellie, Laura Dern's character. She visits a farm where they had a swarm of locusts destroy their crops.
Locusts.
Yeah, giant.
They're bigger than pigeons.
They're like a forearm big.
Yeah.
You know, they're big enough to smash through a wooden wall. You know, the kids being chased into the barn. Yeah, it was disgusting. God. Yeah, because I hate bugs. They're gross. And they hint at that they were deliberately put there by biosyn.
Yeah, because they mentioned quite straight away that it only ate our crops.
Didn't eat
the neighbors' crops are biosyn seeds.
They buy their seed from biosyn. So it's like, so they're trying to eradicate independent farmers. They want corporate farming,
or at least they want everyone to be using biosyn seeds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One way or another.
And that starts off their investigation into did biosyn actually engineer these locusts and put them out there. That's where it starts. But they never come...
Which is kind of obvious.
Yeah, obviously. When they explain it, it's like,
it's obvious.
Obviously. But they never come back to the whole biosyn selling seed to farmers or buying up farms. They don't come back to that. They come back to the locust though, but it's almost, when they talk about it, it's almost like they were released just to see what happens, and it turned out it was a mistake because they live too long and they breed too fast.
They become too many too fast,
but
they just destroy everything.
Why were they released into the wild then? And why do they not... They never come back to that. Why do they not eat biosyn crops?
And also, why didn't they just go, oh shit, they're eating everything else. But I mean, we already know how to beat that by using biosyn crops. Why not just solve the problem by giving out biosyn seeds?
Yeah, but I thought that was going to be a thing. Like, they were going to force farmers to buy seed from them.
Yeah,
but that didn't seem to be part of the plan. The plan was just to... Yeah. What was the plan with the locusts? They kind of let that go.
Yeah. Even though the locusts are still there, they're there as an enemy.
Yeah, because they represent...
Because they're creepy.
They represent, where meddling with genetics went wrong. Once again, that was the dinosaurs, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Why add this
We're
whole
replacing
locust
dinosaurs with giant locusts.
What does that add to the movie? Maybe I missed the detail.
I don't think you did.
They don't come back to that problem. They are just a problem because they can't control them. That's the only thing. It's not about the seed. It's not about destroying independent farming. It is not about using them as a biological weapon. It is just, oh shit, we can't control them. But that is the fucking dinosaurs! That's the example of not being able to control nature. Why bring in fucking human cloning? Why bring in the locusts? Why bring in the...
The locusts are, however, used slightly. Not for the actual, moral story, but, to have a plot point. Because they are the ones who start the fire, and they're creepy in, 2 scenes.
Yeah, okay. But we have...
They're just fodder. They're just fodder. Yeah. Because dinosaurs are not scary anymore, because we've seen them for 5 movies. We've learned that they can more or less control them. More or less. Not completely.
I guess it's a way to get Ellie Sattler and Alan Grant into the story, because they're not involved with getting Macy back.
But they could have worked on that story a little more. Have that be why the whole, the Ramsay character is more important. Because he is part of that part of the story more.
He's the one who actually...
But they don't talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. They kind of let go of what the original intent of the locusts were. They are just there to get Sattler and Grant into biosyn. But then they're just like, oh, now they're here. Okay. Oh, they find Macy, so now they gotta save her.
Yeah. Now they're involved in that. Screw the locusts. We'll figure that. I mean,
the locusts are just a MacGuffin. There it is. It's another MacGuffin.
That's a third MacGuffin.
Yeah, because then oh shit, they got a sample of the locusts. Now we gotta burn them.
it's not even Ellie who solves the issue with the locusts.
No, that's Dr. Wu.
It's Dr. Henry.
Which...
Yeah, Dr. Wu.
Which he was kind of... in the first Jurassic World, he was kind of a bad guy because he worked with InGen, and he was one who told Masrani, like, oh, you told me to make them more scary, so haha, I did. But then in the second one, he was kind of like... He was kind of a stooge for whatever, the Lockwood Estate guy.
Miles?
Mr. Mills, yeah. Eli Mills, yeah. And he was like, shut up, just make the dinosaurs, you fucking
just
nerd.
Just do what I say. Yeah, just do what I say.
So in this one, since they kind of ruined this poor guy who was just a guy with a clipboard in the original, they turned into like a Frankenstein's, Dr. Frankenstein, like a villain. Now, like, we gotta give him like a redemption arc. So in this one, he is like trying to fix the problems he made in the last movie. And
in this one, because he is the creator of the bad locusts.
It wasn't enough that he created the Indoraptor. He meddled with genetics. No, he had to do another one in this one.
He was even involved in the original dinosaur recreation in the 93 version.
Well, in that one, we don't know what his job is. He's just a guy with
but
a
he's
clipboard.
one of the lab techs.
He might be an assistant, like... Sure. He's the guy who does the scheduling for the boat. You don't know.
I suppose. I mean, he has lab
Sure. But you know what I mean? Like, he's not a...
Yes.
He's not the guy who created dinosaurs. Sure.
He was involved in the work somehow, because he worked at the science lair and whatever.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
But...
So, they let him work out the problem with the locusts, which is why he wants Macy, because if he can figure out how Charlotte,
the mother,
Charlotte Lockwood, how she eliminated the bad genes in Macy, he can do the same thing for the locusts,
and hopefully in the future with other diseases.
Yeah. So
once he's perfected it.
So,
that's just a separate like story arc that has. Like you said, it's a MacGuffin just to get people to certain places. And it's partially, and would have been, a more interesting moral story, but they don't fully utilize it or, like, fullfölja den. Follow through?
Follow through, yeah.
And complete it.
Yeah.
They just kind of throw in bits and pieces to make people make sense.
And it is also morally inconsistent. Like, in the old movies, like, tampering with nature, genetics, was bad because we cannot ultimately control it. That was the main thing in all 5 movies up until this one, where it still kind of was the problem, because once again, you cannot control nature. On a fundamental level, how much we figure out about genetics does not matter.
Shit will always change and do whatever the fuck it wants.
Yeah, exactly.
Chaos theory.
Yeah, exactly. Which Malcolm talks about. Like, it is not about changing. You know, if we're going to start dabbling in changing genetics, bioengineering, we need to change our way of thinking. Which he talks about. Which is, it's true, because it is forces beyond our control. The way we think and function now.
Yeah.
So if we even gonna touch it, we need to change the way we think. Yeah. Which is interesting, because that's kind of bridging the gap between it's wrong to, hey, we can still actually kind of use it. But then in the end...
we shouldn't expect certain outcomes.
But then in the end, because once again, Charlotte Lockwood? Was that her name?
Yes, the mother.
First of all, she seems to have perfected genetics, though, bioengineering, with creating Macy 14 years ago. So why was that never, like, something...
documented properly so that people could just recreate it?
Yeah. Why is that only popping up now? Like, okay, she died because of this genetic disease, but I mean, all her stuff was already there.
Yeah, she had done medical experiments. She probably documented
this
things.
is in the early 2000s. Why was that never worked on They just say, like, I couldn't recreate it. What do you mean you couldn't recreate it?
Did she not write down the formula?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's like if you have all the data, it's not like, oh, I can't do it because I'm not smart enough. No, you just copy and paste.
Yeah, or at least copy and paste exactly what she did to, again, make the immaculate birth, because it's a self birth.
Yeah.
There's no father or second individual involved.
Yeah.
It's singular parent.
Yeah.
Do that, have the results again, and then do more research based on that. Then, if you're lacking some of the information, just do exactly what she did by the information you have, and then start meddling with it.
But once again, in the end, then he uses, because he takes some tests from Macy and he figures it out like that. Like, all he had to do was
days.
Do a blood test. Like, you didn't already have
Basically.
blood tests from when Macy was born or something.
You don't
Charlotte
think
didn't save anything or what?
You don't think Lockwood would have let's save a vial of your blood in case something happens, so we have your DNA
Once again,
saved,
that's
because you are a medical marvel.
It's a huge plot hole. Yeah, they had created a perfect clone 14 years ago, but apparently didn't save any data or what? That the greatest geneticist in this world, Henry Wu, could not figure out. Like, they must have just had sugar, spice, all things that are nice is probably the research she left behind, I suppose, and that's not enough.
I mean, she did lose her pen, but she made video diaries, so she should have.
Thing is, though, when the movie ends, he uses bioengineering. He uses, I'm not sure I'm using that term right. He uses genetics. He alters the genetic code of the locusts to eradicate them. So, have we reached? The conclusion is then that genetics are good, but like Malcolm said, have we changed the way we think? Because if we haven't, once again, we're just doing things we shouldn't.
Or did we just find a way to erase one of the mistakes we just recently made?
Yeah.
Because if we can reverse engineer, so to speak, the locusts, could he not reverse engineer the dinosaurs and eradicate them? So we're back on square one, where we don't have wild dinosaurs roaming about. But wait, we don't care about the dinosaurs by now, because they're just
there now.
They're just a gimmick.
They're just there now, yeah. So, and the discussion around the morality of tampering with genetics is never really had. That's the thing.
No.
For 5 movies, it's bad. It's tampering with nature. Bad. Up until this point when, tampering with nature to fix a problem, good.
But we're not going to talk about it much, so let's run from dinosaurs.
He stopped the locusts. Everything is good now.
Yeah. In between that, we run from dinosaurs.
What?
And we recreate small, key moments from the original Jurassic Park, just to make it kind of like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of the same. We have the gotta go turn off the power to reset the systems. We have the
people in an overturned car with the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
We have a reverse raptor chase.
Yeah.
Because humans all of a sudden are chasing a baby raptor like raptors do.
And we have
the triangular thingy, whatever.
Yeah. And we even have from the third movie, because they reference all 3 movies. We have the new bigger apex predator fighting the T-Rex, and humans just running away from it. But even though the T-Rex is bigger, the new one is bigger, T-Rex wins in the end. Well, it actually doesn't do that in the third one. The Spinosaurus just snaps the neck of the T-Rex.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it's fan service because everyone loves
I said earlier,
the T-Rex.
The T-Rex is supposed to be the king somehow.
Yeah, but
even though they mention 3 times in Dominion that this the Aloro-Belorosaurus, whatever the fuck it was called,
Giganotosaurus,
is the biggest predator that ever lived.
Yeah. And like we said, it was even wasn't even the biggest one in the third Jurassic Park movie. And there they didn't try to do a fan thing where, the T-Rex still won. No, they just fucking eradicate the T-Rex and show that the Spinosaurus is the big new baddie.
Yeah.
But here, no, we
And
can't
now we
do
have
that
an
because
even
people
bigger
love
one.
the T-Rex, so it wins in the end.
But you know, the T-Rex had help, though, because,
Sure, yeah.
T-Rexes can work with other dinosaurs to impale bigger ones. Since when do dinosaurs tag team unless they're the same species?
It's so silly. I was laughing all throughout the last half hour of this movie. It was so silly and dumb.
To be honest, we're skipping over a couple of parts here, but
Yeah, but
they don't matter because
it's so much
it's
plotting.
cannon fodder.
Yeah, it's like a fucking James Bond movie, like running around like secret labs and villains and like, oh, you're fired and I'm evil, but I'm not really evil.
Oh,
I'm
I
sort
thought
of
I could
autistic,
trust you.
But yeah, it's so bad. It was so fucking bad.
Only to end up with, well, we got rid of the locusts, but we still have dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's just try and live in harmony, like we tried to do after the first and second movie.
Yeah.
Well, second movie specifically.
Yeah. But, and also, once again, just to hammer that home, the movie starts with a news recap.
Oh, yes.
That like,
kind of to catch you up.
We've lived with dinosaurs in the wild for 4 years, and it's a world in peril. Because we see the fishing boat, the crab boat getting attacked by the mosasaur
fish monster,
which drags it down.
Again, unused source of fucking giant dinosaurs.
Well, because it's out into the sea. What are they going to do with it? They can't bring it to the forest, so...
Mention that it's...
well, they showed it at the beginning. They can't do much more. Because they're not in the sea.
No, but then they show it being friends with blue whales.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Because the movie starts then by that. We see people being chased by smaller dinosaurs. We see the wedding where they release doves, and then a little pterodactyl comes and grabs it.
Yeah. Dinosaurs going into like
some trailer park or some campground or whatever.
Yeah, but like they get into suburban areas and they get confused by the environment.
Yeah, like they are a problem. Like we
they are pests.
We can't live in a society where these giant animals like doesn't work that way.
You know, when a wolf wanders into a suburban area, you have to shoot it because it's terrifying and disrupting. Yeah. But now we have like 10 dinosaurs
and it's happening everywhere. Yeah, because they're not like, oh, we're gonna stick to our areas. Like, no, they're all over the place because they're new. They don't have territories yet, and all that stuff. Whatever.
Yeah. Another inconsistency, though, just have to mention it. How the fuck did dinosaurs move over continents?
The ones that got sold at the auction. There were Russians and Japanese people there.
How did new species arrive in second?
Because they talk about that too. That they were used. Some of the people buying them from there were going to use them for genetic research.
Fine, okay, that's just me not.
I don't care if they want to use 50,000 new species. I don't care. They're just dinosaurs.
No, that's true.
They're dinosaurs. I thought it was fun. They brought back one of my favorite dinosaurs. I don't remember the name, but the little four-legged one with the sail in the
the one in the caves.
I love that one.
The little one with the sail. It's kind of big lizard. It's a Komodo dragon with a sail.
Yeah, it's even bigger than that. But yeah. But you know what I mean. It's smaller than a T-Rex.
Yeah. Sure. Scary as fuck though.
Yeah. Where was so the having dinosaurs in our world is a problem.
Yeah, they even show that when we get the family dynamic, sort of, because Macy runs away, goes over the bridge.
Yeah, she goes in,
and she some way
it's a lumber mill,
helps like a lumber mill getting rid of two long necks.
Yeah, because they're in the way. They might damage equipment or get hurt themselves. So she helps to get them out of there. That's a good scene, though. I mean, that was enough to show that dinosaurs live among us now. We didn't need the newsreel footage to show us that.
We had it with Claire, we had it with Owen, and we had it with Macy. Yeah, that's enough.
We know, but once again, that's world building. We gotta have lore for the upcoming franchise. Anyway, in the end,
the entire movie passes.
Yeah, the entire movie passes, where all they really
was eradicate the locusts.
Yeah, they get rid of the locusts and they save Macy. That's it. But then apparently in the end, we live in harmony with the dinosaurs?
Yeah, because, dinosaurs have apparently become friends with the local animals. So we have the Triceratops being friends with, like, fucking elephants.
Yeah, and
they're similar.
Carina something Saurus running with the ones they chase in the beginning with the horses. Now they run with the horses. And the giant mosasaur swims up to a blue whale. And almost, I think they don't do it, but
it looks like they're touching.
Yeah, the perspective makes it look like they're like, whale hugging or rubbing up against each other.
Yeah.
But like,
even though it's like
the most
3 times
just
bigger.
Eat the blue whale?
Exactly.
It's like having a great white shark swim up to a big tuna fish and just go, "Hey, friend." Like, no, that's predator and prey. Why are they?
Why would the mosasaurus change its behavior like that?
Yeah, it's silly. And how are we like? What?
Though that's the only predator they show.
Sure.
Coexisting
so maybe it
with
just fed
another
and
animal.
Eat the blue whales.
Sure.
But it still looks silly.
But like, can you show me what happens with the fucking T-Rexes that run around, or the raptors? Are they gonna team up with wolves and become a bigger pack, or what?
I don't know.
Like, can you explain that part? Because you kind of glazed over the fact that predators still exist.
Yeah.
We have carnivores.
Yeah, they only show the T-Rex in the
enclosure.
In the Dolomites, in the mountains, yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the T-Rex out in the wild?
Veil.
What about that big allosaur, whatever it was?
Or is there no T-Rexes in the wild? Did they manage to catch them?
Well, even so, what about the big T-Rex looking one that flipped over the trailer in the beginning?
Right.
Is that just gone?
Flying ones.
Or all the ones that escaped.
The
ones that escaped
ones.
in Malta, like you mentioned. What happened to those then?
Yeah.
Like, are they just living in harmony with us now? At what point in the movie?
Malta?
At what point in the movie did
all the dinosaurs
paradigm
decide
shift
to become?
Where we started living in harmony with them?
When did all the dinosaurs unanimously decide to, you know what, let's be friends with all the other animals?
Because the movie didn't work towards that goal. It didn't
show us.
It was just a nice way to wrap it up, I suppose.
Yeah, they didn't show us the gradual change. They just went from 0 to 100.
Yeah. Because the movie's over now, so now we live happily with the dinosaurs.
We saved the MacGuffins and we solved the locusts.
So now we solved everything.
Yeah. I guess.
Do you know how they
see why this movie is dumb?
Yes, it's very, very dumb. Do you know how they solved it in the original movie? They just left the island, and the dinosaurs were there.
They kept the dinosaurs on one island. They didn't spread them to the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's it.
Which eventually would have made them extinct again if no one had meddled.
Yeah.
Because they would have just died out eventually. Yeah.
This is just like the Star Wars sequel trilogy. It's creating a problem where there wasn't one, so they have something to solve.
Yeah. Yeah, they decided to be dumb.
Yeah.
To create a problem that we've already solved.
Oh, there's peace in the galaxy. Well, here comes new bad guys. And all of a sudden, the force is out of balance, so we need a new chosen one. Oh, the dinosaurs are left alone on Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna. Yeah, but now they build a new park, so they can escape into the world.
Not even that, so they can be brought into the mainland and the rest of the world.
And I guess that's what you have to do to
bank on the name.
To be able to make more movies. But that shouldn't be how you make a movie. To just take something old, create that is done, finished, and wrapped up, create a new problem so they can
within
solve
that
it again.
World. Which they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Which is the worst part. Because they don't fucking solve the issue. They just make it worse.
Yeah, so they can make more movies.
We've said this 100 times, and
now we're just repeating. I know. We're going to wrap it up.
No, I'm saying specifically. We've said it 100 times. Don't make movies just to bank on the name. If you have a story, do it separately. Don't put it in with an already existing franchise. In this case, try and do it separately to not. But yeah, you need to bank on the name.
They could have done.
We're done with that.
You know what? You could have made another. You could have made another dinosaur movie. It didn't have to be park. You could.
I mean, sure, people would have fucking compared it. Oh, dinosaurs have already existed in Jurassic Park. Yeah, sure, but just call it something else, and people might.
That's like saying, Mission Impossible is just a modern James Bond. Yeah, sure, it's a movie about spies and agents. Doesn't matter. It's different enough. So what if you take...
You've changed the names. You've changed the location.
Taking inspiration is fine. Just do... A perfect example, but that is just, you can't make a movie that is also a video game. But Dino Crisis. They took the idea of dinosaurs, which is such a fucking, it's on a pedestal. Jurassic Park did it, therefore no one can ever do dinosaurs again. But they did it in a different way, though. They were experimenting with bringing dinosaurs to life, sort of like in this one, to use their genetics to create vaccines and medicine and stuff. But it got out of hand. The dinosaurs got out.
Yeah. I mean...
make something like that. You can do other things than just copy the last one.
Yes, I was about to say that. You can do a movie about dinosaurs without having it be part of the original dinosaur trilogy. We've had other movies that have time travel without being connected to Back to the Future, for example. We've had multiple cowboy movies without them having any sort of connection. Yeah. We've had fucking space movies without them having any sort of connection.
Not every space adventure has to be Star Wars.
No, you can take a subject, it's not even a subject, it's
an idea,
a basis, an idea, a one thing.
We want to make a dinosaur action movie
out of it.
What do we do? Yeah. Well, the park thing has already been done, so we can't do that.
So let's not do park, let's do something else.
Yeah. Genetic engineering. That's kind of like Jurassic Park. We'll change it up.
Yeah, instead of trying to make a theme park, we're using it for medical reasons.
And if you want your idea to be, we shouldn't meddle with nature, it's fine then, because it's a new story. Yeah. Sure, people will...
And it makes sense with dinosaurs.
People will compare it to Jurassic Park, but at least you're telling, your version of that we shouldn't meddle with nature. Instead of just...
Yeah, not copy-pasting.
Yeah, instead of just copying. It's fine to take inspiration from something. Don't just copy straight up.
We have multiple movies about aliens coming to Earth and becoming friends with humans. It's not all E.T.
Exactly.
We're done. I'm sorry, but we're done here. This is
fine verdict again. It's the same as an hour ago. Don't watch this movie.
No.
There's nothing interesting going on here. Like we said, not even the action is any fun. There's about 40 seconds on Malta, and I kind of liked when Claire had to escape in the bog.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's about it.
The animatronics are good, but it's not worth the price of admission.
No. It's not worth your time. No. There are too many inconsistencies and idiotic things and stupid ideas and non-finished thoughts. Yes. Just leave it. Just don't. Don't
watch this. I don't even know what... I'm going to try to find a clip to open this show with. I don't even know. I might just release it as it is. Yeah. Anyway, if you're still with us through all the spoilers, thank you so much for listening. I hope we changed your mind on this. If you were going to go see it, please do not. But anyway.
Yeah.
I don't judge you. We don't judge you if you want to.
No, we...
Like I said, it is dumb fun if you want to watch it for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Check us out on Patreon. Patreon.com/
And on all the socials.
Yeah. Patreon.com/NoMakeScene for all, a slew of other episodes and commentary tracks and stuff. Follow us on social media to get updates on what we're going to talk about next. Because I don't think we have anything planned for next week. Not yet.
Not specifically. No. We have a plan, but it's not
ironclad yet. Yeah. But, check us out there. Follow us. Give us I hear that, the best way to support us, if you don't want to support us on Patreon, is still actually Apple Podcasts. And I looked. That's actually where we get most of our traffic. So, if you're listening to us on any other platform, that's cool and everything. But check us on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating if you like it, or a 3-star if you think we're just okay. That helps a lot. To give us
a star.
Yeah, to give us just to spread our podcast. Yeah. But that's gonna have to be it for this week. Thank God it's over. I never want to watch another fucking dinosaur movie again.
Except for the original 93 version, perhaps.
Yeah, sure. And we will see you in the next episode. But until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The SpoilerCast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is hosted by Tobias Vedén and Rebecca Vedén. Produced and directed by Tobias Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén and Laura Kinney. A huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Laura Kinney, Mom, and Dad.